Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is 2:01 a.m. What is going on with this shirt? I literally just pulled this shirt from my clean pile in the basement. I have all these clothes folded down there that I need to put away. And I had another shirt on, but it wasn't comfortable. And I was like, I just want to be comfortable in my car. I have not finished this Sean David Hutchinson book yet. I literally have 25 minutes left of it. So I'm going to vlog and then I'm going to finish that. And then I think I'm going to start Killer Clown. I might look through my audiobooks to see if there's something else I want to start before that. But I think that's what I'm going to listen to next. We'll just see. It was a good day. My allergies are absolutely killing me today. And it just started raining. And whenever it rains, like my allergies get a little bit worse. And my throat is so itchy right now. So yeah, today, let's see, what did I do? I got up and went and got a coffee. And what did I do after that? I really can't remember. Oh, I went and got a coffee, and then I had to go to the post office, and then I went over to where the Dollar Tree and Five Below are, because I did a Five Below review of like a haul, like I did a haul video, which I was actually going to do a Dollar Tree haul and review, but when I went in there, there was like literally nothing that I wanted or needed, and it was packed in there. And so I went to Five Below, and they had like a lot of stuff that I like thought was cute or stuff that I wanted, so I got stuff at the Five Below instead. It was fun being in there and shopping today. I was trying to do it on like a time limit, like 15 minutes, so I could have actually done it, or I could have actually probably bought more things, but I was kind of in a hurry going through the store. And then I came home and I filmed my videos, and I called Tanya like earlier and texted her, and because I'd said something to her on Saturday about us doing something tonight, or I'd said something to her earlier in the week about us doing something tonight. And so we made plans to go to dinner. We went with another friend of ours, and that's one of our sober friends, one of our friends, but she's sober as well. And so the three of us went to dinner tonight to this restaurant called Chewy's, which is actually where my sister-in-law had her birthday. I kind of wanted to go to this restaurant, so it was my idea. I was taking yet another cheat day from program, so we went and had fun. It's like this Tex-Mex kind of restaurant. I've been kind of craving that since I went to Seymour this week. We had such a fun time. It was packed in there, and anyway, we just had a good time. And yeah, it was fun. I got all my videos done, and I went and I took like a really nice shower, and I used another one of those samples of shampoo and conditioner. It was called Ghost products, and I liked them, but I'm not really finding a shampoo or conditioner that I really, really like. It was nice that they gave us samples because I wanted to try some new stuff, but I liked the Ghost better than the Bumble and Bumble, but I still didn't, I didn't like it enough that I would buy it, because I think it's kind of an upscale, expensive shampoo and conditioner, but, so yeah, so that was fun. We went to dinner, and, we were there for like 2 hours, and afterwards, I told Tanya that I would go to the kennel with her, and then she was like, I'm tired, and I'm like, I'm tired too, and she's like, do you want to come over later and go to the kennel with me? And I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I want to go home and like rest for an hour. So I got home and took the dogs out, gave PB his medicine, all that kind of stuff, well, actually, I got home, took the dogs out, then we took a nap, and then I gave PB his medicine, and when I called her, like when I texted her when I was laying, because I told her I would text her when I lay down, it was like 11:15, and so I said, I think I'm going to sleep till like 12:15, and she said, okay. And and I said, I'll, as soon as I get up, I'll text you. But I must have kept on snoozing it, because I woke up at like right before 1 o'clock, and I texted her, and I was like, I said, I just got up, but I can come pick you up. And she was like, I just got home. She was like, but if you want to stop by, you can. And I was like, no, that's cool. I said, if you're up later, give me a call or whatever. So she was like, okay. She was like, if you want to go to the Walmart or something. So we both took naps when we got home. So we took late Saturday night naps. It was so nice. slept with the pups, and I just had the most wonderful nap. It was so nice. Turned the fan on. And then, so I got up and went downstairs and took the dogs out, and then that's when I gave PP his medicine. And I'm like giving it to him like in his food now. I do notice though that when I crush it up, like he does better with the coughing. Like today his coughing wasn't bad at all. And I think he only coughed like maybe one time all day today that I noticed, and it was really kind of like like it was just really short. I will say that he's getting quite adventurous on the street, though. I took him out tonight, and he went, like, way down the other end of the street, and I was like, pee-pee, and I'm like, and I stand in the street by the mailbox. Boo and Tucker just kind of stay real close to me. If pee-pee goes off, Boo follows him, but pee-pee usually goes down to our neighbor Laura's house, into her mailbox, and he sniffs all around it, and then he comes back to our mailbox and sniffs it, and then he goes to our new neighbor's mailbox and sniffs it, and that's kind of like his little nightly routine. But tonight, he like tore off behind my car and went left, and when I got to the end of the driveway, I was like, pee-pee, and he's hard to see at night, because you know he's black, and so I was like, pee-pee, where are you? And I couldn't see him, and so I started walking down the street, and he like just walks up the walkways of, I know it probably sounds like he's confused, but he's not. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's like walking up our neighbor's walkway, and they have this big dog that he is friends with, that he's become friends with, and so I think he's like walking up there to see if he's there or something like that, because this is like the second time in a row that he's done this. And so he's like literally standing up by their front door. Well, it's like, you know, at this point, like 1:15 in the morning, I can't just like walk up to their door. And I'm like, pee-pee. He comes walking down the walk. I'm like, pee-pee, get over here, pee-pee. So he's so funny. So yeah, I've been giving him his medicine. I either hide the pill in a little bit of food, and then I just give him little pieces of food, or I crush it up and like mix it into food. But that's kind of hard to do, because the pill is so small that I want to make sure he gets like all the pills. So if I crush it up, like I'm afraid that he like misses out on a little bit of it. But he does seem to do better when I crush the pill. So I don't know. I've been wanting to get a pill crusher, but everywhere I go to get a pill crusher, they're out. Like they don't have, like they have them, but they're out of them. So I don't even really know what a pill, I guess I could get one on Amazon Prime. I didn't even think about that. That's what I should do. Oh my God, you guys. Well, anyway, so let me say this first. So I'm going to do that tonight when I get home. I'm going to order a pill crusher on Amazon Prime. So he does better when I like crush it up with a spoon and then I put it into a pill. But he's fine either way. I just think it goes into his system faster or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I talked about this on here, but like the one medicine, the vet medin, they were giving us 21 pills, which is like a 10 or 11 day supply because he takes it twice a day. So the last time that he was out, I called and I said, is there any way for us to get the vet medin, like a 30-day supply of it? And the guy was so nice. He was like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, because it would just be a lot easier for us. I don't know why. It's so weird. Like the Naparil, which he takes, they like give us tons of those pills. I think they give us a 30-day supply thinking he takes a pill a day, but it says a half a pill twice. Well, it would be a pill a day, I guess, but it says a half a pill. Which one is the one he takes a Naparil? He takes a half a pill twice a day. And we always have tons of those. And then the Lasix, they give us a 30-day supply of, exactly, and it's a half a pill. No, it's a pill twice a day. And then the vet medin is a pill twice a day. And the vet medin is a big pill for a little guy like PP. I mean, it looks like kind of like one of those oblong, like Tylenol, but it's brown. So anyway, but they got us now so that every time we pick up our meds for him, like I just picked him up, it's a 30-day supply across the board. What was interesting was, and I don't know why this is, and I'm not going to go back in there and complain, but when I pick up the vet medin, it's always like the same amount of money to pick it up. Like if I pick up, like usually when I get it, they give me like 21 pills, which like I said is like 2 a day, it's like 10 days, and it's like 17 or 18, it's $15 or $17, I think it's $17. Well, the 2 times ago that I picked it up, it was $17. And they only gave us 8 pills because that was when his prescription ran out. So I went and picked it up again this time for the 30-day supply, and it was the same amount of money. And we don't have like pet insurance, so it's not like a generic price that we're paying. So I don't know why that is. Does anybody know why that would be, that we would pay the same price no matter how many pills they gave us? But if they're gonna give us a 30-day supply versus 8 pills and charge us the same thing, I would rather get a 30-day supply, you know what I mean? But PBS medicines are expensive. They come almost to $100 a month. But you gotta do it, you know, little guy. They're doing this thing too, like when I take them out the back door. So it's our condo and like our back patio, like you can see it in the vlog, and then Laura's is next to us, and then the side of the house, and we have this huge field, not field, but like there's this huge yard over there that's kind of like common property, but it's really Laura's yard. But they now, all 3 of them, go out the back door. Like I'm not even off the patio door yet, and they're bolting right towards that yard because like people walk by there, like, and they're like bats out of hell. They're like, and they're like going over there, and half the time there's not even anybody there. They just start barking before they even get, especially Pooh and Tucker, because they're such fools. They just start barking for no reason, and then Pee-Pee follows them, and they just go over there thinking there's somebody there, and when there's not anybody there, they go all the way to the end of the property line, and then they cut down in the woods, but they bark the whole time. And then but today they went way over in the yard, and I was like, what is going on? Why are they doing this? And so I walked over there, and as I was walking, I saw there was like these 4 kids on bikes, and they were like, you know, just crisscrossing and biking and stuff. And so anyway, I got up there, and they were being really nice to dogs and stuff. And this one kid that I like, he's in the neighborhood a lot. He actually, I think they live out like right outside our neighborhood, but they're still considered part of like the homeowners association because their house is on the lakes that the condos are on. So if you sit on the lake, even if you're a house outside of our condo association, it's considered part of our association. So they can use like the pool and the tennis courts and stuff like that. And so he stopped me. He was like, "Are you that YouTuber?" And I go, "Yeah, I make YouTube videos." I started laughing. And he goes, "My sister watches all of your videos." And I go, "She does." And I kind of didn't know it was him, but like I've seen him in the neighborhood, but I wasn't sure if it was him. And he was like, "Yeah, she and my mom love you." And I go, and so I said, is your sister Molly?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Tell Molly I said hi," because I know, I'll tell you the story in a second. But I said, "Tell Molly I said hi." And he said, "I will." And I said, because she invited me to her open house, her graduation open house, and I thought it was this Sunday. I thought it was tomorrow, but I guess it was last Sunday, because I said, "Did she already have her graduation open house?" And he goes, "You missed it. That was last week." I said, "Okay." And his friends are like, "You do YouTube videos?" And I go, "Yeah." And they were so funny. And I said, "Do you guys watch videos?" And this one kid goes, "We watch fishing videos." And I go, "Fishing videos?" And he goes, "Yeah, we like fishing videos. That's all we watch." And I said, "I didn't even know there were fishing videos." He goes, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that do fishing videos on YouTube." And I said, "Do you guys fish?" Because like a lot of the kids in the neighborhood, like they'll come and stay with their grandparents for the summer. And we have a lot of kids in our neighborhoods, like where they they come and stay with their grandparents. And so like the grandparents let them go fish off the docks and stuff, like not the docks, but like the bridges. There's like 3 bridges in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is real small, you guys, but they stock the what do you call it? They stock the lakes, which are small too. They stock them with fish. And so I said to this kid, I said, "Do you guys fish in the neighborhood?" And he was like, "Yeah, we catch all kinds of fish." And the other kid goes, "I caught a catfish that was this big." And I go, "You did?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was this big." And I go, "Did you take it home and make dinner out of it?" And he goes, "You're funny." And I go, "Well, did ya?" And he goes, "No, we threw it back in. We throw all the fish back in." And the kid whose sister I know, he goes, "You're not supposed to take the fish. You're supposed to throw them back in." And I said, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Yeah, we fished all day yesterday." And I said, "Does it take a long..." There was this one kid that was like kind of to the right of them. He wasn't saying anything. And he was like real quiet. And I said, does it take a long time to catch a fish? Do you guys have to be out there for a long time?" And that kid chimed in. He goes, "All day." Like he didn't want to be out there. It was real funny. So anyway, so I said, okay. I said, well, you guys go have fun. And I said, why aren't you guys up at the pool today? Because it was kind of nice at that point. It was cloudy, but it was nice. And he goes, well, these are my friends. They don't live in the neighborhood. And I said, and he goes, we have to have a parent with us, and my mom's not home right now. My dad doesn't want to go to the pool. I said, oh, okay. His dad's real nice too. And so I said, okay. I said, come on. And of course, Boo, Tucker, and PP are like running around their bikes the whole time like crazy dogs. And but this is how I know them. This is so funny. So Alex and I we were doing something in our front yard. This is literally like, okay, so if she just graduated and she's 18, I see her all the time. She's so sweet. I actually just saw her at the stoplight not too long ago with her boyfriend. And she went like this, she just like rolled down her window. And so she and her mom, okay, I bet she was probably, well, she was in junior high. She was getting ready to go into high school. So she would have been, what, like 13, 14? So it's been like 5 years probably now. I bet it's been 5 years, maybe over 5 years. She and her mom would like walk in the neighborhood, like at night. And her mom is really cool. And so anyway, so they stopped. We were out there. I don't even really remember how the conversation started, but we ended up sitting out. Like they sat there in our like driveway. The four of us sat there. It was so much fun. And we sat there and talked to them for like 2 hours. She and her mom. And we talked about like all the neighbors. They knew like all the neighbors. And we were talking about the pool. That's what it was. We had seen them at the pool, and they said, we saw you guys at the pool earlier today. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, we didn't know if you guys were new or not. And I was telling them that like my mom had lived there, you know, since like Christmas of '94, because that was when I was in treatment that she moved in there. And she's like, oh, you've been here for a long time, so you know all the people. She was talking about like Laura's grandma that like runs the neighborhood and stuff, and because everybody knows her. We talked about all kinds of stuff, and they were so nice. So now whenever we see them, we just sit and like talk to them. They're really friendly. And really nice family. But the mother works somewhere. Okay, so this is crazy, because I'll see the mom every once in a while, and like they're always in their yard, working in their yard, and I'll stop and like say hi to them and talk to them and stuff like that. Or she'll like drive through our neighborhood. So it's like if you go through our neighborhood, it's like a faster way than if you go around. It's like real quick shortcuts. So because they get like a gate opener because they pay homeowners. They have to pay homeowners association fees even though they don't live in the condo. What do you think about that? Just so they can use the pool and the tennis courts in the summer. But they live on the lake, so they have to. Like they agreed to that when they bought the house. So anyway, but they have like a dock and everything on their part of the lake. But anyway, the mom works part-time, like just for fun, somewhere where that her Baumeister's wife works. Okay, and so she knew that I was real intrigued with that case. So when Aaron and Melissa and I were going to do that, she came by one time and I was telling her, like, we had started talking about that someday. I don't even know how. Y'all know how, like, if you think this is how, you guys are probably like, how does he just drive around in a car and talk for all this time? This is how I am with my neighbors. This is how I am with people in the grocery store. Like, I'll just talk to anybody. And she talks just as much as I do. So we have so much fun when we talk. Somehow we talked about her Baumeister, and she was like, oh my God, I work with his wife. And I was like, you do? And she's like, yeah, she's really nice. And I was like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, she's really, really a cool woman. She's like, that you can tell, like, she's been through hell and back. And I was like, yeah. And so she was telling me some stuff, and the camera fell. So anyway, but she's like told me all this stuff that like she knows about the her Baumeister case and all that kind of stuff. So it's real spooky strange. But anyway, so we always talk about that. I still get real weirded out. I'm actually right by the house. Well, not right by it, but like I'm turning down the road to get to his house. I still get real weirded out by thinking about that case. You know, it's weird that I spent a night at that house, and not underneath ideal conditions either. I mean, a paranormal investigation. I mean, it was creepy, you guys. Like, if you haven't seen that video, it's weird. I think I mentioned it in a video the other day because I'm starting to get comments on it again. And it's, honest to God, I think it's my most viewed. Maybe not as much as like the very first vlog that I ever did on this channel. I think it's because it's like the first vlog that you see when you come to my channel. But other than that, maybe, I think it's the most viewed vlog on this channel. And it's called Fox Hollow Farms, because that's the name of the mansion they lived. It was called Fox Hollow Farms. It's actually a horse farm. And when you drive by there, there's horses like in the field right in front. But so anyway, with her, she and I, every once in a while, she'll tell me something new that she found out about the case, or something new that, you know, like every once in a while she knows something new. But anyway, I haven't actually talked about that on here in a while. It weirds me out. Like, the case weirds me out. And so, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a serial killer in Indianapolis, and his name was Herb Baumeister. I haven't talked about this on here for a while, so this will be like this will be interesting to people that are new to my vlog. So thank you for being new to my vlog, by the way. But we had a serial killer here in Indianapolis, and his name was Herb Baumeister. And they found the remains of 29 men on his property. They were able to identify 29 men. There were other bones that they didn't know, like if it was a complete person or if it was parts of somebody else that were not identifiable. He was also the I-70 killer. So he would drive from here to, I think, Cincinnati. So he and his wife owned Save-A-Lot stores, which were like thrift stores, and they were like millionaires. And so he would drive to like Cincinnati, I think it was, and he would pick up hitchhikers, and then he would like strangle them, and he would throw their bodies off the side of bridges and stuff like that. That was how it started for him, supposedly. They don't really know a whole lot about him, and what's really weird about it is that when we did the paranormal investigation, they gave us a tour, and they did like the history of like him. Well, who did the tour was the guy that owns the house, and then one other guy came, this guy that used to live there, and I think they're kind of like in it to like, it felt like they were, like, even though, like, they don't ever really let anybody tour it, the reason that they were letting us tour it was because this one woman that arranged the whole thing, she was so nice. She was the one that reached out to me, and then she wasn't able to end up coming. But, like, they had to work with them. It's, like, really hard to get in there and do a tour. Like, they do it, like, once a year because they live there, okay, which is so creepy strange to me. I mean, I've talked about this on here from time to time, but I haven't, like, really told the whole story in a while, so I'll tell the whole story. So, anyway, back in the day, my roommate Chris and I, we would watch investigative reports. Now, I mean to tell you, there was, like, I don't remember anything being on the news about Herb Baumeister. Like, I don't remember people talking about it. I don't remember anybody in the gay community being like, be careful, there's a gay serial killer. Like, I don't remember that. But this guy was killing only gay men. And so he killed from like 89 to 96 or 87 to 96 or something like that. But it was during the time that I would have been going out to gay bars, okay? When I would have been drinking and when I got sober afterwards. So Chris and I are watching an investigative reports, which is actually, it's on YouTube, this episode. And hi, I'm Bill Curtis. Welcome to another episode of Investigative Reports. We used to watch it all the time. We loved it. It's not on anymore, obviously, but it was on A&E. And we were watching it, and it was about the serial killer, about Herb Baumeister. And so we're watching it, and all of a sudden, like, they're talking about it being from Indianapolis, and we're like, this is weird. And all of a sudden, they're talking about how, and I think it came out like not too long after he died. They're talking about this gay bar, which is called Greg's. But back in the day, we used to call it OP's, and I think it stood for Our Place, OP's. And they showed the bar, and then they showed like these dance lights, and Chris and I were like, oh my god, because we would go to OP's all the time. I mean, it was like our main bar that we went to. It was like the gay Cheers in Indianapolis back in the day, and it might still be, I don't know. But anyway, we couldn't believe it, right? And it was just so surreal that, like, and he was looking for dark-haired guys that were thin, not short, but shorter, because he was real tall, and that, like, were always drunk, right? Well, that fit me to a T, because I was like 155, I'm like 5'10", and I was drinking, and my hair was really dark back then. So, like, I totally fit this stereotype, although later he picked up a lot of homeless and transient people. So, like gay men that were transient and homeless, because there wasn't families looking for them, I think. But I fit this trait of who he was trying to, like, get with. So anyway, so Chris and I watched that. Then I was at work one day, and I was talking to this woman that I used to work with, this girl. I say woman, but we were the same age, so girl, whatever, but she's my age now. And I was telling her about this TV show that I had seen. I mean, I had just seen it, and so I was talking about it. So if that would have been in like 97, 98, when we were watching that show, well, when would it have been? So I got sober December of 94. My first ex and I moved in with each other. So that would have been Christmas of 95. We moved in with each other and got an apartment with her that following year, which would have been sometime in that spring, which would have been spring of 96, which would have been when he was still killing people. So then he and I were together 4.5 years. No, that can't be right. Well, anyway, so it would have been like 97, 98. It would have been like, it must have been 97, because it was really early in my working and treatment. And I was talking to this woman, and I was like, so the lake house, his lake house plays a huge part in this whole story. So she was like, my parents' lake house is right next to his lake house. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she was like, no. And he was really creepy too. And like, I literally just passed the street to go to his house. I'm like 2 blocks from the house right now, at 2:30 in the morning, witching hour, which is weird. So anyway, she said no, he would like, everybody would be in bathing suits and out in the water and stuff, and he would have like long sleeve shirt and long sleeve pants like in the middle of the summer and stuff. She was like, it was real weird. So anyway, the case of what happened was that he killed all these men. At one point, his son found a whole, like a skull on his property buried, and so the wife asked the husband what it was, and he said it was something from his dad. I think his dad was a doctor. His dad was a doctor, and he said it was like a whole skeleton. He had a whole skeleton of his or something from back in the day. They also, like, they have an indoor pool. So what he would do is he would go to the gay bars. His wife would go to, like, the lake house, like, every other weekend in the summer, right? So this is when he would do it. When she was out of town for the weekend, he would go to the gay bars. Now, can you even imagine if you were married or had a partner and, like, they just went out of town you went out of town for the weekend, and while you were at home, this is what they were doing at your home, okay? He would go to a gay bar. He would pick up a guy. He would bring him back to his house. They'd be drinking drinks, and he would lure them back with the idea of going for a night swim, because they had, because he had this indoor pool. The indoor pool, by the way, you get to see it, how he had it, like, because they show it in the thing, like, when they, like, found out that he had done all this, and he had all these weird mannequins around the pool, like, from the, he was kind of obsessed with mannequins, they say in there, and they're, like, all posed around the pool. It's real eerie, from the Save-A-Lot stores. So he would go and he would get these guys, and then he would bring them back to the house and lure them back there under the guise of, like, we're gonna go swimming, late night swimming. And then he would do this thing where he would, like, try to, like, so they would, and then they would have sex, but, like, he would do this auto asphyxiation thing, where he would, like, put the what do you call it, the pool hose around their neck, and then he would, and that's when he would kill them. And then he would, like, cut them up and burn them in the burn pile. That was, like, so he would cut them up or whatever, and then put them, like, right outside the door, or take them full-bodied right outside the door, and then he would walk. It's literally, you guys, like anybody's backyard. That's about as big as it is, okay? Right to the edge of the woods, walk about 20 feet in the woods in the middle of the night, and burn these people. Can you imagine? I mean, seriously, okay? Whew, it's creepy. So anyway, And she has no idea. She's got 2 kids, 2 or 3, I think 3 kids. She and the 3 kids have no idea that this is going on, none whatsoever, okay? And he's killing these people left and right in the house. So, the reason they found out what was going on was that this one guy, and this is like a big part of the story to this day. This one guy, he saw his friend get in the car, so he knew what kind of car he drove. And Herb did. And I remember, like, when I would talk about this in the vlog back in the day, and I would drive out here, and I would drive by the driveway, and I would say to myself, like, this is so sad. Like, this is the last road. This that I'm on right now, this, like, you turn right off of this to go to their house. This is the last road that some of these men ever saw. Like, you know, it's just so sad. So anyway, this friend of his, this friend of somebody that got killed, like, his friend went missing. And so he went to the police and he told them, he was like, I think I know who did it. Well, they apparently wanted him to set up and do, like, so, or, like, bait this guy, or I don't know how it was going to happen or whatever, but, which eventually they did. They, like, he talked to him and then he followed him out and then he got his license plate. But before that, if I'm getting the story correct, it's in the documentary if you watch it, or one of them. There's like 5 of them on YouTube and they're good. The one I like is called The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farms, and a lot of people think it's stupid, but I thought it was actually scary. And it's been on all kinds of paranormal, any paranormal TV show, ghost hunters, all that stuff. It's been on all of those shows. Fox Hollow Farms has. Like, literally every major paranormal show or ghost hunting show it's been on. So anyway, and I watched them all. This guy goes to his house and Herb tries to kill him with the hose, and he acts like he passes out, but he's not really out. So Herb thinks he's dead. But then he acts like he comes back to it and was like, oh, I didn't really like that. Let's not do that again. Well, Herb is so surprised that he's not dead that he just kind of goes along with it. And the guy's like, can you take me home now? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so, like, he goes home. Well, now they know that this is how he's doing it, right? Okay. So this guy, like, makes it his point to go and try to find, like, he can't remember exactly how to get back to this house, because at the time, none of this was developed. It was literally like that house was out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, now, the creek behind the house, they are still finding bones in to this day. Literally, the Monn Trail that rides all over Indianapolis goes right over this creek, okay? There is a neighborhood right behind this house now, like a huge neighborhood, residential neighborhood, and they like are still finding bone fragments to this day, like back there. So anyway, so I don't remember how it happened, but they issued, like, on the news. So they finally get the wife. Like, the wife will not let them do a search warrant. She won't let him come into the house. She, like, just doesn't believe it. Okay, she just is like, no, I know my husband. This can't be true. And I don't know what happened. Oh, this is what happened. Okay, so he came home and took I think their son or daughter, I think their son, to the lake house without telling anybody, and she went crazy. And she was like, so she finally called the police, and they had been trying to get her to let them on the property all that time. And she said, you can come on the property, you can do whatever you want, but please get my son and get him back safely, right? So they get the son back safely. I think he's just at the lake house, and Herb Baumeister leaves him there. And then they come onto the property and they do a search warrant, or maybe it's before that. I can't remember how it all goes down. It's all kind of intermingled together, and I don't really remember the story that well. But so anyway, they do a search warrant on the house, and they find tons and tons and tons of bone fragments and all this kind of stuff, tons of it, right? So he flees to Canada. Now, there's some speculation about this because a cop pulled him over the day he ends up killing himself. The day before he kills himself, a cop pulls him over, and she said that a Canadian police officer, she said she remembered seeing, like, a trash bag full of, like, VHS tapes in the back seat, but didn't ask to search the car or do anything, right? So then when they found the car and they found him, that they were gone, the tapes were gone. But he killed himself right by this lake, like leaving other these sand dunes from his car to this lake. And so they think that maybe he threw him out in the lake or threw him out somewhere, who knows. They also think that he possibly could have had an accomplice, but they don't know. And so anyway, when you watch this Haunting at Fox Hollow Farms, I think that's the one they show it in. He did this, like, the way he killed himself looked almost ritualistic, like he had somebody helping him. He was like spread out like a cross, and there were like 2 or 3 black crows like from his head going to the lake, and the gun was like nowhere near him. Like his hands were spread out, and so they don't know how he could have possibly like shot himself when the gun is nowhere near him. And they think that maybe he hired somebody to do it, or like a stranger, or that like somebody, like a friend did it or something. They don't know. Like they still don't know. But they wondered if, and this is the paranormal part, there's something very ritualistic about it, that he did it so that he could come back and like haunt that place or whatever they say. So we go out to do this paranormal investigation. I'll just skip to this part really quick, but then I'll explain how we got out there to do it. And apparently in this closet, his closet, it's like a void, a vortex to hell is what they called it. And like these paranormal investigators that we were with, I mean, they were all over this closet. I didn't see anything in this closet, but apparently I didn't see anything in the whole house that was spooky to me, first of all, but I will tell you what happened before. But they said that this closet was like this vortex to hell or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so I did a video, and it was on my Peter Monn channel, and it was called something like, I Met a Serial Killer. And I just told the story and how I had always been interested in it, and that I could have met him at some point, you know, like, who knows? I could have been standing in the bar, and it was clickbait, total clickbait. And I was like, I could have been in the bar, and I could have talked to him, and whatever. Okay, so then flash forward, Tanya and I are at a meeting, and we're at a meeting that I used to go to, but she didn't usually go to. And it has a lot of people that come in and come out, right? And like to this meeting, like they'll come there every once in a while, and then they just don't come, because it's not like a meeting that a lot of people attend regularly. So I saw this guy that I used to party with back in the days. Like when I was back drinking, I used to party with this guy really hard. And I didn't know he was sober or anything, because he lives downtown and I don't. So I don't go to a lot of downtown meetings. But anyway, so afterwards we were standing outside and we were talking. And he was like telling these stories to Tanya about how I was back in the day. Oh my God, Peter was so much fun. And but girl, I'm telling you right now, he could just, you know, you could see it. He'd come right over him, and he'd be in a blackout, and you knew that trouble was coming. And he was telling all these stories about me. And Tanya said, well, I'm just glad that you guys never got taken by that serial killer guy. Like, that's really scary to me. And he's like, oh girl, he was like, we were smarter than all that, or something like that. And she goes, I know. She was like, but that fact that you never, like, thank God you never ended up at his house or anything like that. And he looked at me and he goes, did you not tell her? And I go, tell her what? And he goes, you don't remember. And I go, remember what? And he goes, we went out there with our friend Brian, this Brian guy. He goes, you, me, and Brian, this guy, and he said his last name. He goes, we went out there for an after party. You don't remember, do you? And I go, what are you talking about? So he said something like this, and he goes, yes, girl, I had this gold lame halter top on, blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, we went out there because that guy said that he had an indoor swimming pool, and he wanted us to go party with him and have an after party out there. He told us all these people were coming, and then we got out there, and it was just the 3 of us, and we thought it was real weird, and we left. And I go, what? And Tanya's like freaked at this point, okay? Now, she's talked about this in vlogs. This is truth, okay? Hand to God, this happened. She's talked about it in vlogs. So this isn't Peter making stuff up. I know people think that about me, but I don't do that. So anyway, so I go, are you kidding me? He goes, no, we were out there. And I was like, oh my God. And then I kind of like started thinking I had like this vague memory of it, but I wasn't really sure. Well, then I made video number 2, okay? And I called it like, I did meet a serial killer or something, I don't know. And I told that story in there, right? Like I recapped it, the whole story that I did the first time, and then I retold it again. Okay, so it totally does not feel like a Saturday night. Okay, my camera fell. But I went off on a tangent. I was saying that it doesn't feel like a Saturday, it feels like a Sunday or a Tuesday. But anyway, thank you for letting me tell this story. I'm having fun kind of telling this story, and I know I went off on a tangent, but anyway. Okay, so I made the second video, and I kind of just recapped what had happened, I think. It's been so long since I watched those videos, I don't even know what I said in them, honestly. So, I recapped the video, and then I told the story about Tanya and I seeing this guy, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Well, this woman reaches out to me, and she, like, runs or is part of, my nose is driving me crazy all of a sudden. So she is part of this, like, paranormal group in Indiana, or Indianapolis area, I think she lives in, but it's, like, all these people from Indiana. And there's, like, 6 or 8 of them in the group. Let me see, I can tell you. There's her, and I think her husband, and then this guy and his girlfriend, and then these 2 guys. That was it. That was 6 of us. 6. Okay. So, when I tell you guys, these people are so serious, but so funny at the same time. Okay. So, anyway, so she reaches out to me. Well, she wasn't there. So, it was this guy and his girlfriend. Oh, and then they had a friend with them. And then it was these 2 guys, that was 5, and then us. That was it. There was only 8 of us that night. And, yeah, oh, that's right, because there were supposed to be more, I think, because they charged us to do it. Now, a lot of people get, whenever I say this, they're like, they're not supposed to charge you to come there and do a paranormal investigation. I think you can't do that or something like that. They weren't charging us to do the paranormal investigation. They don't ever let Fox Hollow Farms open to the public. What they were charging us for was, because this is a house, they live there, okay? So it would be like somebody coming to your house, and you just go, okay, from 6 to 2 o'clock in the morning, it's yours, right? Or 6 to 4 o'clock in the morning, you can have it. And, but they were there, like he was there the whole time, and his wife was watching TV upstairs. So, like, we were basically renting out the space for that period of time. It had nothing to do with being a paranormal event place or being haunted or anything like that. We were just, like, renting out the space. And I can't remember how much we each paid. I think we each had to pay $10 or $20. I mean, it really was nothing, in all honesty. Because, like, some of these places, like these ghost hunting tours and stuff that you do, like, Melissa and Aaron legit pay, like, $200 to go into these. Like, oh, the camera fell again. So anyway, some of these things can run really expensive. Like, Aaron and Melissa, they go to, like, you know, all of, like, they go to, like, the big ghost hunting places that you see, you know, and they pay, like, $200 a night. Like, they road trip to places, like, all over the country, and they do this. So anyway, if you've heard of it, Aaron and Melissa have probably done it. So, this woman reached out to me, and she was like, okay, I know you have a lot of interest in this. Would you like to go and do it? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, well, you can just meet our team. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing this alone. There's no way. Like, I cannot just go with a team of people. Like, I'm going to be terrified. And I was like, do you care if I bring a friend with me? And first I had asked for Melissa, and I didn't ask for Aaron, because I think that I could ask a lot of people. But Melissa and Aaron are kind of like a Ghostbuster team. Like, they do this together. And so I wanted to ask for Aaron. And so the woman was like, yeah, you can bring as many people as you want. She was like, but we can only have it up to 10 people. And I think there were like 3 spots left. And I go, oh, perfect. I go, because she said you can have up to 3 for you. She's like, because we have all the other spots filled, and we can only take 10 people in. And I said, perfect. I said, because I have 2 friends I want to take with me. Oh, they were so excited. So Melissa's going crazy, and she's like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we have to get our Ghostbuster lanyards, and Melissa has all these tools. She and Aaron have all these Ghostbuster tools, right? And I'm like, I was like, Melissa, like, are you really gonna bring that stuff? She was like, yeah. And I was like, seriously? She's like, okay. So she's like laying the stuff out. She's got backpacks full of it. They wear their, like, they have matching ghosts, they have leggings that have ghosts on them, and then they wear these lanyards that say, like, professional paranormal investigator. Girl, it's so funny. Anyway, so she's got all this stuff, right? And she's like, and we have to stop. And she's like, I'm gonna bring a cooler, and I'm gonna bring, like, water and Pepsi and whatever you want to drink. And she's like, we can get treats. And I was like, don't bring food. She was like, I'm gonna bring food, I'm gonna bring snacks, I'm gonna bring a cooler. And I was like, she goes, Peter, you will be surprised what people bring. And I go, they're not gonna bring anything. And she was like, Peter, I've done this, like, a lot. Like, they do, just trust me. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I was like, she goes, well, what are you gonna bring? And I go, I am just gonna bring a fountain pop. I will be fine with a fountain pop, okay? Oh my God, it keeps on falling. It fell again. But I said, I'll be just fine with a fountain pop. And you know what? I wasn't. I wanted snacks. Melissa was right, and I had to tell her she was right about it. So anyway, But I was so nervous about doing this Fox Hollow Farms thing, you guys, that we went to New Age People, which is where I've gotten a lot of psychic readings here in town, and they have like crystals and all this kind of stuff. It sounds like a straight up voodoo shop, but it's not. It's like when you go in it looks like a Hallmark. It's real pretty. So anyway, and the women that work there, they're so funny. Like, you can tell they believe in it, but like, they can deal with skeptics too, you know? So I went in there and I was like, I don't know how I remember what this is called, because I was just talking about this the other day and I could not remember what it was called. I think it's because I've literally been binge watching over and over and over again all of Aphrodite's videos. He's that psychic tarot card reader on YouTube, and he and I have become friends, and he talks about this all the time, this crystal in there. So I said to her, I go, number one, I need a crystal that's going to protect me from any kind of, because people have told me that I'm an empath, and they told me that souls attached to me. This is what I've been told. I'm not saying that I believe in it, right? And I said, I do not want any attachments leaving the house with me when I go. We explained what we were doing. And what was so funny was I went in there and I said, here, this is what we're doing. We're going out there, and I'm kind of embarrassed. And she's like, I'm like, so we're going to go do this ghost hunting thing at the serial killer house for Baumeister. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. And I was like, and I need something to protect me from that. And I also need to make sure that I don't take any attachments with me. And she goes, yes, it's very important. And I'm looking at her like waiting for her just to like bust out laughing. And she's like, oh, no, that's really important. Like, you don't want to take like sometimes like certain souls attached. And she's like, so yeah, this is what we're going to do. She's like real serious. Okay. And I'm like, and Melissa's like, I'm like, this is crazy. Right. So she was telling me about sage, but she's like, you can't really sage yourself. Like you can, but it doesn't work like really well. So they have smudge spray, which is basically the same thing. So it's a spray that you spray all over yourself. I sprayed so much of this stuff. Let me just tell you, it stinks so bad. I still have it in my cabinet up, and it smells kind of like pepperminty sage. It's real weird smelling. And then I got black tourmaline. I think that's what it's called. Tourmaline, something like that. But it's this black crystal, okay? It's real pretty. And I bought that. I ended up putting it on my necklace with my St. Christopher medal and my cross that my mom gave me, and sprayed the hell out of me. I mean, I got out of the shower and I sprayed my entire body with this stuff, and then I put on my clothes and I sprayed my whole body, and then before we got out of the car, I sprayed it again. Melissa was so pissed. She was like, we didn't see one thing at this thing, and I think it's all because of all of that stuff you did. I was like, I am fine with that. So anyway, so we got all that stuff, and then I picked them up, and she and Aaron have coolers, and they've got all this ghost busting supplies and all of these ghost busting. I thought it was so funny. At that point, I was like, this is kind of cute. I was like, okay, so you brought all your food and all kind of stuff. And Melissa goes, well, I'm hoping they'll let us order pizza. And I go, don't even ask. Melissa, please don't ask. I'm like that kid that, you know, totally doesn't want their mom to like ask the teacher something embarrassing on like parent-teacher night. You know, and I'm like, Melissa, please don't ask them. We can order pizza. She goes, oh no, I'm gonna ask. And Aaron's like, why do you care? And I was like, please don't ask. It's so embarrassing. She was like, no, I want pizza. I'm really hungry for pizza. So anyway, so I think it actually is on the vlog, Melissa asking for pizza, okay? So anyway, so we drive out there and we get there, and I think the whole thing started at like 6 or maybe 9. I think maybe it was like 8 or 9. I can't remember. It was dusk. I will tell you this. And you know, in the summer in Indianapolis, it gets dark later. Well, all over it gets dark later, right? But like in Indianapolis, it's like 9 o'clock. Somebody said that on a vlog the other night. They're like, it's 9 o'clock and it's still sunny there. It gets dark, like it's really late in Indianapolis. And actually, my husband's birthday is the summer whatever equinox, and it's like my hair, and he always says that he gets the longest day of the year for his birthday because it's the most special day of the year or something like that. But anyway, he's so funny. He was FaceTiming me earlier. So our friends, this couple that we're friends with, they're in Chicago for the weekend, and her mother like babysits for them because they have 3 boys? No, they just have 2 boys. They have 2 boys now, and so her mom babysits for them, and they're so much fun. And they're like an age gap couple too. And she and I graduated from high school like a year apart, and her husband's a lot younger. So anyway, but they're in Chicago, and they're staying right across the street They're staying at the Virgin, like, Records Hotel. I didn't even know that's up there. But they're staying right across the street from where Alex is. Alex's friend came home from the music festival. She's like, I guess she got pizza. She's like, speaking of pizza, she's like, I'm getting pizza and I'm going to bed. I'm not going to go out tonight. So Alex is out with our friends. And I think they went to Tao. And he FaceTimed me. I was totally caught off guard. My hair looked like crap. I literally had just woken up. And he goes, I just walked out on the street and this girl stopped me. And she said she recognized me and she loves your videos. And so he's FaceTiming me with somebody that watches my videos. And she's like, you don't know me. And she was like, but I watch all of your videos. And I was like, hey, how are you? And she was like, I'm good. She's like, you don't know me. You don't know. And I was like, what's your name? And she was like telling me her name and stuff. And I'm like, my hair's like, you know, all out here. And I'm like, just woken up. So anyway, but that was really sweet. Why was I telling that? Okay, so I don't know. So anyway, but thank you. If you were out there and you watched my vlogs, that was really sweet. And so I go pick up Aaron and Melissa, and then we go to the gas station, and they're getting stuff to put it into the cooler and all this kind of stuff. So we go out there, and it's like dusk, and we like park out by where the horse farms are. I was gonna make a short vlog tonight, and this has ended up being really long. So anyway, I park out by where like the horse barn is, which they have horses out there, and they keep them in this barn like way off. But the horse barn, they have now turned into this like, it's like a house that stands on its own. It's like a 3-bedroom house that stands on its own. It's ginormous, okay? I mean, this house is massive. And when you go inside of it, like, we didn't even see the whole upstairs or the whole downstairs because they have certain parts of it that are closed off to the public that are private. But anyway, I just got the weirdest feeling, and I'm literally, like, it is right over there. Like, the house is right, the creek I just passed is the creek I was talking about. It is literally, like, right over there, and I just got the weirdest feeling. So anyway, so we're sitting out there, and I'm, like, so nervous to meet these people. And the next group of people come up, and it's, like, this guy and his girlfriend, and they are, like super nice, but they're kind of like standing outside their car. They're not really like saying, they were like smoking cigarettes. We're like standing there talking to them. And here's Melissa and Aaron, and they've got these lanyards on and these ghost leggings, and they're kind of just like looking at them like, who are these girls? And then these other two guys walk up, 2 or 3 guys, I think. I can't remember. I think it was 2 guys, and they are like serious business, okay? And they literally look like real serious, okay? I'm not talking about like business serious, but they're like, they look like people that take this shit real seriously, right? And they're standing out there, and they like, you know, all of them know each other. And so they're like looking at us. And so finally I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm Peter, and so set it up for us to come meet. And this guy, like with this like flat bill hat on, and he was like, oh, it's really nice to meet you. I'm the one that's gonna take care of you tonight because she couldn't end up coming. Well, then I'm real nervous because the one that I'm supposed to meet, she didn't even come in. But he's super nice, and his girlfriend's just kind of standing there. So his girlfriend and these 2 other guys are just like standing there looking at us like we are like crazy. Like, who are these people? And they keep on looking down at Melissa and Aaron's leggings, right? And so he's like, so you're really into this story? I'm like, yeah, and I'm like telling them like the short version of all this that took me 40 minutes to tell tonight on here. And he goes, oh, that's cool and whatever. And he's like, so you've never done any paranormal investigations before? And I go, no. I go, but they have. And the guy goes, oh, really? He goes, well, where have you got? He's super nice, right? And he's like, well, where did you guys have, what investigations have you done? And Melissa's like, well, we did Waverly, and we did, she starts naming off all these places. Let me just tell you, these people, I'm telling you, in 10 seconds flat, it was like flies on shit. They were taking Aaron and Melissa so seriously. It was so hilarious. And they were like, oh my God, we want to go there so bad. We've never been there. What was it like? Did you see anything? Do you have footage? I mean, they were like, okay. So they were all just about, they didn't want somebody coming out there and making a joke of what they take seriously. When I tell you that I have never met a group of nicer people in my entire life, they were so nice, you guys. So nice. And they knew I was really scared, and they knew I was really nervous, and they literally, like, they would go out of their way, and they'd, like, come and see where I was, and they'd be, like, just checking in to make sure, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. So we're all standing there. Melissa and Aaron have their cooler out and their backpacks of all of their pendulums and those sticks, and they got all the stuff, right? The machines. And I'm, like, so embarrassed sitting there. I'm like, okay, now these people know we're serious, but they think we're crazy because we have a cooler. We have this huge cooler of drinks and stuff, right? So we're sitting there, and the guy gets a call, and he goes, okay, he's going to be out here in just a second. And he goes, so we should probably get ready. They all start bringing out coolers and backpacks and huge things, and they've got all kinds of... Melissa was right. She was absolutely right. They all brought food. They all bought drinks. They had huge equipment. Like, equipment you had to literally, like, lights. You had to had stands on it that you had to set up that, like, would put like this magnifying thing over the pool. So if anything in the pool moved, if there was even a ripple, it would catch it on camera and stuff. They had all this stuff. I mean, we had like nothing compared to them. Melissa looked at me and she goes, I told you. I was like, okay, you're right, you're right. So anyway, so the guy, the owner, comes out and he takes us inside, and if you want to see the rest of it, it's on the Fox Hollow Farms vlog. And I literally, from that moment on, I filmed like the whole evening of him taking us in there. Melissa asked about 5,000 questions because she was really interested in the whole thing. But at one point we walk into the kitchen, and this is like, she asked if we could, I don't know if this is actually on the vlog or not, but Melissa said, he said, we have a book in there that has like all the police reports, it has all the police pictures, it has like all of this, it was this huge binder that had like all of the things, the pictures from when the house was sold, what the house looked like back in the day. Maybe that's where I'm seeing those pictures. Maybe it wasn't in the documentary. Maybe I saw it when they bought the house, because they had pictures of the way the house looked when they bought it, because it really hadn't changed a whole lot. And so we're standing there, we're standing in their kitchen, and it just feels real normal, okay? Because he hasn't turned off like any lights or anything yet, and it doesn't feel like a paranormal investigation. We're just like standing there in the kitchen, and he goes, okay, I'll let you guys get to it. And Melissa's like, could we order pizza? He's like, yeah, if you guys want to order pizza, we can order pizza. We didn't end up ordering pizza, but she's like, okay, thanks. So anyway, the only thing that really was weird that happened, was when I was walking down the stairs, I was talking to Melissa and Jason. I was talking to Melissa and Aaron. I can't remember if they were in front of me or if they hadn't come downstairs yet, but I was walking from the kitchen to the basement. It was like you open this door and you walk down. I think that's, if I remember it correctly. I think I have it on video. And I was walking down the stairs, and I was talking to whoever was behind me, and I got to the bottom of the stairs and I turned around, there was nobody walking down the stairs, and I could hear somebody on the stairs walking behind me, and it was really, really creepy. That was like the only thing that really happened. And so we did the whole paranormal investigation. Oh, I also got a scratch on my arm. That was the other weird thing. It was like in the shape of a cross. It was really strange. We were standing in the pool room. Well, the room where he would like hide the bodies sometimes, like the pool pump room. We were standing there in the dark. We had one of those ghost things, like it like picks up voice sounds and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I felt something on my arm, and it was like where nobody was standing next to me. And when I came out, I like looked at my arm. I think I showed that on the vlog too. And it looks like there was like a cross on my arm. That was weird. And that was really actually pretty spooky. That was when I was like, okay, I need out of here. I need out of here now. And there was like 6 of us standing in this room, the pitch black. But anyway, the whole thing was just very sad. You know, at the very end, we were sitting in this basement. I had a recollection. Okay, so this was weird. I had some kind of memory of being in the bathroom. I said, I need to use the bathroom, and I kind of like started walking towards it, and I hadn't seen if there was a bathroom over there. And I said, I feel like, and when you walked into the bathroom, it was like, what do you call it? Like lockers and stuff. And like where you could like change to go swimming in the pool and whatever. And I said, I feel like I've been in here before, but it was a sauna. And the guy looked at me and he goes, this was a sauna. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, this was a sauna. They changed it or something like that. And I was like, oh my God. Like that was like the only thing of me actually being there that I remembered anything. But if I had gone there, I would have been in a total blackout when I went there, so I wouldn't remember it. But we were sitting at the very end. So when you're sitting in the basement, they have this huge basement with a bar. It's really, really pretty. But we were sitting there, and there's like a window that looks into the indoor pool. So you could like, if you're sitting on the couch, you can literally like look, you're sitting on the couch, like they have like an L-shaped couch with like a huge TV. And there's like a bar to the left. When you're sitting there, I think I probably showed it on the vlog. You're looking like into this window, into the pool. And I was just sitting there, and it came over me, like they were doing that pendulum thing, and I just was like, this is really sad. Like, This isn't a funny paranormal investigation. This is like 29 men lost their lives here. Like, there are people out there to this day that still do not know what happened to their brothers, sons. And since I've told this story, I've had so many people reach out to me, you guys, and say, that was my uncle. My uncle was killed there, or my son was killed there. I think I had one person that said it was their son. I could be wrong. But I had one person that was their uncle, another that it was like, anyway, I've had so many people that have reached out to me and having connections to this story, you guys. It's weird. I've had a lot of people reach out to me about this story, this specific story, and having some connection to it. And it's just crazy, you know? And we got this really overwhelming sadness. And that was kind of at the end of the night. And then we like packed up and left. And the experience overall to do a paranormal investigation was fun. I don't know that doing like a private home, it was really weird to me, honestly, that people still live in that house. You know, it's like one thing, like, I mean, let's just put this in all honesty. Like, if you watch American Horror Story, like that murder house, you know, that they buy, and we think that's so weird that like somebody would actually buy a house. I mean, I thought it was weird when I watched that show, you know, that somebody would buy a house where all these people have been murdered, but literally, like, this is a murder house, okay? I mean, 29 men. We're not talking, you know, like one old person died of, you know, some disease. We're talking about 29 young men. Their lives were taken. They were murdered and they were burned. I mean, like, their bodies were burned, unidentifiable. Like, it's just so tragic, you know, that anybody, and they swim in this pool. They swim in the pool. I couldn't believe it. And a couple of these private investigators, a couple of these paranormal investigators that we were out there with, they were like, oh yeah, we swam in the pool the last time we were here, because that was not their first time of doing it. And I was like, you did? And this one guy was like, yeah, and we took a picture when we were in the pool, and he has this picture, and it was literally straight up, like his girlfriend took it of him swimming in the pool, and there was this picture of something behind his head, and it looked like this ghost. It was so spooky, you guys. Like, I can see it in my head as I'm talking about it right now. It was so spooky, and it was like caught behind him in this picture when he was like swimming in the pool. And I said to Melissa, she goes, I'd get in that pool, I'd go swimming. I said, would you really? She goes, yeah, I would. I was like, you're crazy, I would not get in that pool. And I think it's disrespectful. I think it's so sad. So anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm not built for ghost hunting. But, I mean, the whole start of it, the whole excitement, I know, like, other things I think would be fun. Like, I reached out to that woman and I was like, if you have any others, like, let me know. And she was like, okay. But I think that for my first one, where it was like, you know, I don't know, it's just so sad. Just was horribly sad and weird. And the thing is that, like, you know, I spent some time in that house. Like, I was in that house from 8 or 9 in the evening or whatever till like 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't remember what time we left there. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I can't remember. 2 o'clock, I think. So we were there for hours, right? Like, I was in the house. Like, I walked on the grounds. Like, my car was parked there. I walked outside and stuff, you know, while I was like, we walked outside and took breaks, and you know what I mean? Like, and I was outside that house in the middle of the night. And it wasn't that scary to me. But now, driving in a car and knowing it's right over there scares the hell out of me. Like, isn't that weird? Like, I don't know what that's about, but like, I get just creeped out, like, even driving any direction and over in there. Like, I don't like it. I just feel like there's a really, really bad energy around that place. And if you watch the very first vlog that I ever did, Melissa and I drove out there, and we drove into the driveway. I think this was before I got invited to do it. Yeah, it was. And we drove up, and Melissa, like, pulled up, and, like, so, like, I recorded it and stuff like that. In a vlog. I think I did it in a vlog, actually. And I got really sick after that. Like, I was sick for, like, a week. And went back out there by myself, and I got sick again. It was super strange. So anyway, that was the story of the Fox Hollow Farms paranormal investigation. But I would be down to do another one, but I don't know that I would want to do, like, somebody's home. It very much felt like that movie Poltergeist, like the original, like when we were there, like them setting all that stuff up. That's what it kind of felt like. It was strange. Okay, I need to listen to something happy now. I know I was thinking I wanted to start the Killer Clown book tonight, but, like, you know what? After telling this story and then reading that, like, I think I might be kind of scared to go, oh. without Alex, with just the dogs. I think I might have to listen to something happy. Oh my God, you guys, you know what I watched last night when I got home? Okay, did you ever watch the show Moonlighting back in the day? Na 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 na. Okay, anyway, so I love the show Moonlighting. I have the pilot episode on VHS at my office, okay? I love it so much. So anyway, I got on YouTube last night to see if they have any Moonlighting. I was like, surely they have a full episode here or there. Somebody, this chick I think, has downloaded, or she has literally, this chick, I don't even know who it is, right? But anyway, it could be anybody. So it could probably be some 80, 75-year-old grandpa. But anyway, some old dude. They have literally every episode in order of the first 5 seasons. And I started watching this one. It had Tim Robbins in it. It was like first season, second episode. I started watching that last night. So those are on there if you would like to see them. If you like Moonlighting. I love Moonlighting. With Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis back in the day. They were so good. I do love a good adventure like that. It's fun. But they can be a little spooky too. So I have to maybe stay away from them. There's nothing safe for me to watch. All right, listen, you guys. I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to finish my audiobook, and I'm going to start something new. I don't know what. Probably not something super scary. And so I'm going to get off here now. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. Amazing Sunday. Hope you had brunch. I hope you're having some cinnamon toast with your family or pancakes and taking the day and relaxing and watching my vlog and Netflix or whatever and reading a book. Or I just hope you're having an amazing day unless you have other plans. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And somebody commented on my vlog and they said, I'm new to your vlog channel and that caught me by surprise, but I really needed to hear it. And I just want to say this, okay? And thank you so much for the comment. The reason that I say in my vlogs every day, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you, is because I have a friend of mine in sobriety that always says that to me when I see her. And I haven't seen her in a while, but when I do, she always says that to me. And, you know, I think it's such a necessary thing. When there are people out there, those words are so powerful. Those words mean something, you know? And there are a lot of us out there that have gone long periods of time and never heard somebody, you know, mother, father, child, aunt, uncle, grandparent, teacher, you know, coach, friend, anybody say, I love you. And they're powerful words. And we all deserve to hear it. And we all deserve to hear it and feel it regularly. So like I said, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.